I want to talk a little bit about the return of Coach Knight, man. And you were a part of that. You actually convinced me to come because I ain't want to go. Like
Exactly.
people don't understand. I really don't. I don't have a relationship with Coach Knight. I never did. I never have, which is another one of those things. If I was me back then, I would have forced him to be my friend. Like, yeah, really. Like, we would have, hey, what up, coach? I would have used my personality to make him. And I joke with one of my hosts, one of my people on my podcast about I got the most hugs out of Coach Knight. I was like, he hugged me a lot, what I mean, which showed me he cared about me. But we would have had a relationship, but I didn't really want to come. I didn't really want to come because I just didn't feel. I felt like the alumni was fractured. I felt like I hadn't heard. I haven't talked to Coach Knight to this day, until meeting and talking to him at the event. I hadn't talked to him probably 10 years up to that point. You know what I mean? I'd seen him, hello, but it wasn't a conversation. So, but you convinced me to go. And why'd you do that? Why you convinced
Hey,
me to go, man?
I know you probably had some of those thoughts of yeah, I remember you telling me that last year, and I'm like, AJ, you're not going to want to miss this, man. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things. I think you earned it. I think you need to be there. I think having, obviously they're in each decade, the most amount of alumni coming back. It's not only for coach, but it's also all the players. You kind of, it's never been done before. The camaraderie, that many people coming back was something I knew I was going to fly, from Florida up. Like I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going to miss that. And I'm like, hey, AJ, you got to be there. You just have
Right.
to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I think hopefully you see that you're appreciative also that you were there
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
it's one of those things in history, right? So a guy builds up everything. We're not having this conversation if Coach Knight's not there, right? I mean, we don't never meet the amount of influence that guy has had over how many decades and how many lives and done so many good things. Obviously his tactics are one of a kind, right? Of how he's going to go about it. Not saying that everything that he's done in his life, nor anybody's life, who's to judge, right? But he I think has influenced more people in a positive manner than it's exponential, right? And you and I
Right.
being influenced by him, I had to have my wingman there, man.
Right. Definitely.
We spent a lot of time. I wanted to see you too. Wanted to see catch up. Kurt,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him as well. Tommy Geyer,
Mm-hmm.
these guys that you go to battle with. I think
Right.
it's important, that I just want to, the limited time that we do get to hang out around each other. Here's an event that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted you there too.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you convinced me, man. Because it was a great time. It was a great time for my fiance to be able to be a part of something like that. And people don't understand my thought process. And this is how I thought for the last 20 years. You had to win championships to be friends with him. That's how I felt. We weren't able to do that. So I accepted that I just wasn't in that class and I went my separate way. And I had up to the point of last year, I had really accepted it. Like, hey man, it is what it is. You had to be in that class in order to have that type of relationship with him where the Quins, Quinn Buckner used to come around all the time. Scott May was around all the time. Isaiah come when he wanted to, all those guys that won something for him, they seem to have a close relationship with him. So I accepted that. And once I accept something, I usually don't go back on it. Like I'm
uh,
like, I'm done. I'm done with it. It's cool. I got the utmost respect for him because he did bring every ounce of whatever he could out of me as a player. But as far as like caring about that kind of stuff, I just didn't. And it had gotten old at that time. It was like kept hearing about it. People want to talk about it all the time, or all that kind of stuff. So that's why I was standing on it. But I'm glad that time that I just like, man, you know what? I'm going. The fellas want to see me, and it ended up being the best decision, man. And we got a chance to go out on the floor and the ovation and see it firsthand, him with the guys and celebrating that moment, man. And I'm glad we didn't miss it. The anniversary was a couple of days ago, which makes it even funnier. Like 3 days, I think it was February 8th was the 1 year anniversary. How
mm-hmm.
quick a year goes. And it's almost like meant to be because COVID hit right after that and everything was shut down after that.
Right,
Like
right.
right, like 3 weeks after that, COVID shut everything down. So that might not have ever happened if we waited, any longer. So you just be great, just being grateful for being, for changing the guy changing my mind and me coming and being a part of that. So,
and I think, you know what, I guess I got to throw this out there. Maybe you feel that way too, as far as because you were, you know, on our team in that class and whatnot. You were obviously the leader, the distinct one that everybody's going to remember, knows, right? Household name, AJ Guyton. And so obviously you have that burden on your shoulders that you took that on for such a long time. When I don't think Coach ever looked at it that way, man. I think he loved all of us. You know, he wanted the best for us. I know, you know, even I said, even after I got my job, but even him being involved with me getting married, you know, he kind of gave me a call out of the blue and just wished me, you know, have a good wedding, have a good life, blah, 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 whatever. But like you, I don't know, but feeling it that way, it probably wasn't the case. You know, you just think about things maybe, but you were such a big contributor to the program. I know he's got a, you know, just talking with Pat and I, you know, him knowing, what you did is special at IU during that time period of so much, you know, conflict.
Right. You know what? There was also guilt. There was also guilt. Guilt was, if we could have just got over the hump, none of that would have ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's deeper. It was deep. I'm not, since God, no, it's not. I don't think about that now, but at that time, you know, this event was like almost me getting over it. Like, you know what I mean? Because we let's think we would have won one Big Ten championship, that might have ever happened. Like Coach Knight would still be there. You know what I mean? When somebody said to me on the pod, I think Tom Coverdale was like, man, it was going to happen anyway. Yeah, he's like, you're not going to censor Coach Knight. It is what it is. Like, you know, he's like, it was going to happen whether that year or the next year, it was going to happen. And so, and I was like, yeah, you're right about that. I never thought about it. It's just a trip into my mindset and how I was dealing with it all and handling it all. I understand it. I'm proud of the time that we had, but, you know, I understand what the standards were. And, you know, and I don't try to, you know, oh, I was this, I was that. It was like, hey, if that's you guys' standard, then it is what it is. You know, I wouldn't trade me for anybody. Like, you know, maybe Isaiah. I might want to be Isaiah. But I wouldn't trade me for anybody, man. But it was me getting over it as well.